Hey, what's up guys? Sam here. What's up? What is going on? Hope you all are doing well today. Very excited to be partnering up with the Verifier once again to bring you today's information. Last time we gave you some details on the Apple TV. Today we're continuing the trend with the Apple Watch. It is the most popular watch in the world, and Apple has some big plans for the future. We're going to be telling you about the Series 6 in 2020, but also bigger things like Touch ID coming later down the road. And as a bonus, we've got some tidbits on WatchOS 7. So drop a like if you're excited for this video. It does seriously help me and the channel out, and hit subscribe so I don't have to pop my collar and go find you myself. So I partnered up with the Verifier again for this because they have a proven track record, and I wanted to add my name on top of this to tell you that I'm confident in the things I'm reporting today too. That being said, Apple's plans, believe it or not, they're not static. They actually change as the years go on. So Apple could change the timeline, something could be pushed up to a newer model or pushed back to a different piece of software or a different model, but we know for sure that Apple does have these things in development right now. And the first thing is for this year's Apple Watch Series 6, it is blood oxygen saturation monitoring. Now, we're not here to break the story, we're simply here to corroborate that what 9to5Max saw in the code is happening. Apple is working on adding blood oxygen saturation monitoring to the next Apple Watch. You know, it's that little thing you put on whenever you go to like not even the ER, just really to get a checkup somewhere. They're gonna make sure that you're doing okay and that your oxygen is properly permeating throughout your whole body so that you can get good oxygen up here and in your toes and everywhere. Because if your oxygen saturation drops, some organs can start struggling and it can lead to a ton of health complications. And if there's one thing that Apple has shown us with the Apple Watch, it's that they want to help people avoid complex health complications in the future. That's why they added fall support. That's why they added ECG support. That's why they have a heart rate sensor that can try to identify if you have an irregular heartbeat. Their push into health is only going to get more serious down the road, and the next step of that is blood oxygen saturation monitoring. I'm really excited to see this, especially with a sickness like what's going around now. Now, other things that other sources have said about the Apple Watch Series 6 is that it will get better waterproofing, faster Wi-Fi and LTE support, and even a faster processor. Unfortunately, today, we can't corroborate any of that, and we genuinely don't know that much about the Series 6, but we do know more about the future directions for the Apple Watch line. First up here, you know the rounded rectangle? That's not changing anytime soon. I know there's been speculation for years that Apple's going to change it to be a circular design. That's not going to happen. Apple is set in stone for the rounded rectangle design, and there is no plan currently for a circular version of the Apple Watch. It's just not going to happen. I know, it's sad. I'm a little stressed by it as well. I haven't slept for a couple nights, but while I would love to see some radical design change come to the Apple Watch, rounded rectangle is how it's going to be looking for some time, and we'll let you know when that changes, but there's no big design change, no circle coming to the Apple Watch anytime soon. Second, the much more exciting thing from my perspective is Touch ID coming to a future Apple Watch. Now, a couple of things here. There are two prototypes in testing that we know about so far. One a little bit more exciting for me than the other. This is probably not coming till at least the Series 7 or the Series 8. So 1 to 2 years, 1.5 to 2.5 years from now is when we're probably gonna end up seeing this. There is a really small chance that this makes it to this year's 2020 Apple Watch Series 6, but we're not super confident in that happening. So huge grain of salt there. It's probably going to happen on the Series 7 or the Series 8, which is fine because the two implementations here are pretty cool. On the digital crown. Now, we don't know if it would be tapping and holding or rubbing your finger like this to get a scan of your fingerprint, because there's actually an Apple patent for one of those that they filed already. It would essentially roll your finger on the digital crown and it would gather the imagery of your fingerprint that way, which is pretty genius, and that would be a very Apple Watch centric design. The second is something that we already know Apple is experimenting with on a future iPhone, which is in-screen Touch ID. Rather than using the digital crown, you would simply press your finger on the screen as we've mocked up or concepted here and unlock your Apple Watch that way. We're not sure which option. We just know that they are working on one in-screen and one crown variant of some sort. Let us know your thoughts on this down below. When I first heard this, I was like jumping up in my chair because it's something I've wanted to see on the Apple Watch forever. Apple's got Touch ID in the MacBook. It started on the iPhone. It only makes sense to start putting it on the Apple Watch eventually, and eventually could be in a year or two. Following that, we've got a couple of bits of information about Apple's WatchOS 7 upgrade. You know support, right? You can only get the newest version of WatchOS on so many watches, and then Apple doesn't ship it on some older ones. Now, this year, the Apple Watch Series 2 was supposed to stay on the docket. It's supposed to be getting WatchOS 7, but because of how slow it is, Apple's running into some serious engineering issues. The processor just can't keep up with what they're trying to do with WatchOS 7, and while Apple's goal is to bring 5 years of support across the board to every device through free software updates, it's something that's off with the Series 2. And while Apple is trying their best to make WatchOS 7 work well on this device, well, the Series 2 might not make the cut. Everything they want to do, it's really tough with the processor inside. And this may or may not be related to the second thing we're hearing about WatchOS 7, which is that it's supposed to be a big upgrade across the board. Now, I don't have anything specific to share with you, and I know if I was watching this, I'd be like, are you kidding me? You're just gonna say it's big and then not actually go and tell me what's big? I wish I had more, but this is what we know about the future of the Apple Watch right now. Again, thank you to the Verifier for partnering with me on this video. We do have some more good stuff exclusive coming to you in the future. So drop a like if you enjoyed the video or you learned something new. Hit subscribe for more, and hope you guys stay safe out there. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you in my next video.